From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. Radio Pilipinas World Service can also be heard on shortwave broadcast through the shortwave facilities of the United States Agency for Global Media or Voice of America on the following shortwave frequencies: 15.640 MHz, 17.750 MHz, and 21.720 MHz. I'm your host, Leo Magpayo, and this is Dateline Malacañang. Filipina tennis star Alex Ayala has made history, capturing the Philippines' first ever Women's Tennis Association or WTA 500 singles crown at the Mubadala DC Open in Washington, D.C. early Tuesday, Philippine time. Ayala stunned top-seeded American Jessica Pegula with a gritty comeback 4-6, 6-4, and 6-0 to secure her maiden WTA 500 title and first hardcourt championship. The triumph is expected to propel Ayala to a career-high world number 20 ranking, cementing her place among tennis's rising elite. Her victory is being hailed as a breakthrough moment for Philippine sports, a milestone that underscores the country's growing presence on the global tennis stage. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. led the nation in celebrating the achievement, describing Ayala's success as another proud chapter in Philippine athletics. The chief executive emphasized that her performance continues to inspire young Filipinos to pursue excellence and dream beyond limits. Across the country, the win is being embraced as a symbol of possibility. Ayala's rise from junior champion to WTA contender has become a rallying point for aspiring athletes, reinforcing the message that Filipino talent can shine on the world's biggest courts.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday received Honorable Fujita Fumitake, member of Japan's House of Representatives and co-representative of the Japan Innovation Party, during a courtesy call at Malacañang. The meeting highlighted the Philippines' deepening ties with Japan under their comprehensive strategic partnership. President Marcos thanked Fujita for visiting Manila, noting the growing frequency of engagements between the two nations. The visit comes as the Philippines and Japan mark the 70th anniversary of normalized diplomatic relations and the 15th anniversary of their strengthened strategic partnership. Fujita's party, a reform-oriented coalition partner of Japan's ruling Liberal Democratic Party, shares policy priorities aligned with Philippine-Japanese cooperation, including maritime security, defense, supply chain resilience, and a rules-based Indo-Pacific. Japan remains one of the Philippines' most important economic partners. In 2025, bilateral trade reached $22.2 billion, while foreign direct investments totaled $734 million. Japan also accounted for over 33% of the country's official development assistance portfolio, with commitments nearing $14 billion. Beyond economics, people-to-people ties continue to grow, with more than 500,000 Japanese tourists visiting the Philippines last year and over 337,000 Filipinos residing in Japan. Joining the president during the courtesy call were senior officials from the Department of Foreign Affairs, the Presidential Communications Office, and the Department of Tourism, alongside members of the Japanese delegation.
Dateline Malacañang.
Malacañang has thrown its support behind Defense Secretary Gilberto Chodoro Jr.'s call for public officials to stand firmly on the Philippines' position in the West Philippine Sea or WPS. The palace stressed that loyalty must rest solely with the nation regardless of political differences. Press officer Claire Castro said, the Marcos Jr. administration sees no issue with Chodoro's statement that officials unwilling to uphold Philippine laws and national policy should consider stepping down. She emphasized that defending the country's sovereign rights is not a loyalty test, but a duty expected of every Filipino. The remarks came after Davao City Representative Paulo Duterte criticized Chodoro's stance, accusing him of demonizing China. Castro countered that questioning the expectation of loyalty to the Philippines is alarming for an elected official. She clarified that maintaining cordial ties with China in trade and investment must not be confused with defending sovereignty. The palace reiterated President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s position that political differences should never undermine national interests in the West Philippine Sea. Officials echoing China's line, Castro added, should be transparent about their views.
Ang pinag-uusapan po natin dito ay mga Pilipino. Pilipino na ang dapat ang puso ay para sa Pilipinas lamang. Hindi pinag-uusapan dito ang loyalty. Lahat tayo mga Pilipino, dapat ang puso, ang paninindigan, ang ipaglalaban ay ang bansang Pilipinas lamang. So kung kay Congressman Pulong Duterte ay pinag-uusapan ang loyalty ng Pilipinas, or rather ng mga Pilipino sa Pilipinas, lubhang katakataka, very alarming para sa isang katulad niya na mambabatas, na lubhang para nagpapakita na ang kanyang loyalty ay hindi solido sa Pilipinas. So wala tayong nakikita na mali. No? Ang Pangulo, ang administrasyon ay wala nakikita na mali sa tinuran ni Secretary Gibo Teodoro. Ito ay pagpapakita ng pagmamahal sa ating bansa. Ang sabi nga ng Pangulo, pagdating sa pagpaprotekta sa ating interes, kahit anuman ang ating kulay, kahit magkakaiba ang pananaw sa ibang issues, pero ang patungkol sa pagmamahal sa bansa, hindi ito pinag-uusapan. Huwag nating ang mga issues patungkol sa maging magandang relasyon sa bansang China ay iba sa issue ng pagprotekta sa ating interes. Totoo na meron tayong magandang relasyon sa China patungkol sa trade, investment, negosyo. Hindi yan usapin. So hindi pwedeng pagsamahin ang pagninegosyo, magandang relasyon sa China sa pagpoprotekta sa interes ng Pilipinas.
To the United Nations, asserting extended continental shelf claims in the West Philippine Sea, reinforcing maritime entitlements under international law.
Dateline Malacañang.
Malacañang has denounced what it described as a despicable scheme to frame Executive Secretary Ralph Recto in a fabricated scandal, urging the National Bureau of Investigation or NBI to identify everyone involved. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said the alleged plot represents an unacceptable attempt to destroy a public official through character assassination and planted evidence. She stressed that such tactics run counter to the Marcos Jr. administration's commitment to due process. Reports earlier revealed that the NBI foiled a plan to lure Recto into a compromising encounter. Talent manager Lito de Guzman was arrested in an entrapment operation, while investigators are examining seized digital evidence to determine the extent of the conspiracy. Castro lamented repeated attempts to use fabricated witnesses against officials and rejected claims that the administration was behind political unrest. She said it would be alarming if elected officials questioned the expectation that loyalty should rest firmly with the Philippines.
Kung ito'y mapapatunayan na totoo, dahil may mga witnesses, may mga taong involved na pinangalanan ang taong nag-utos sa kanila na sirain ang pagkatao ni Executive Secretary Ralph Recto. Ito ay isang karimari-marim, hindi katanggap-tanggap, hindi makatao, makasarili, power-hungry, gawaing paggawa ng intriga, pagplanta ng ebidensya. Diyan ba sila sanay? Diyan ba sila eksperto? Ito yung iniiwasan ng pamahalaan. Kaya nga meron tayong tinatawag na due process. Proseso ang pinapatupad ng pamahalaan, ng administrasyon ni Pangulong Marcos Jr. Ayaw natin yung naranasan natin nung nakaraang administrasyon. Pero pilit pa rin nilang ginagawa sa ngayon. Hindi ito unang beses. Madami na tayong nakita, marami na tayong naobserbahan na yung ibang mga inilalatag nilang mga di umanong testigo ay gawa-gawa lamang. Sino ngayon ang nagpapagulo sa bansang ito? Sinabi ng Vice Presidente na ang bansa natin ay in chaos. Sino ang gumagawa ng gulo sa bansa natin? Definitely, hindi ang Pangulong Marcos Jr. Sino ang mga kaalyadong tinuturo na gumawa nito? Ito ba ang ugali na ipamamana natin sa ating mga kabataang Pilipino? Hindi dapat ganito nakikita ang karahasan, paggawa ng kwento, paninira. Napakarampant na ng ginagawa nila. At ito ay nakakasira sa gobyerno, nakakasira sa isipan ng ating mga kabataan.
Alos emphasized that President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. remains focused on governance and stability, while the NBI pursues a deeper investigation into whether other personalities were involved in the alleged plot.
Sa ngayon po, ang NBI, sa pamumuno po ni NBI Director Matibag, ay inaalam pa po ang pinakalalim nito. Dahil pwedeng hindi lamang si E.S. Ralph Recto ang nais nilang biktimahin. So, dapat natin ito malaman. So, tayo lahat, kayo mga lehitimo, taga-mainstream media, ipaglaban ninyo ang inyong karangalan, ang inyong dignidad bilang tagapagbalita ng tama, hindi fake news.
Palace Press Officer Claire Castro.
Dateline Malacañang.
Also on Monday, Malacañang has assured workers that the government remains committed to implementing the 85 peso daily wage increase for private sector employees in Metro Manila despite a Pasig Court's temporary restraining order or TRO halting its rollout. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said the Office of the Solicitor General is preparing to challenge the TRO issued against Wage Order Number 27 of the Regional Tripartite Wages and Productivity Board, National Capital Region. She stressed that the proper remedy for contesting the wage order should have been an appeal before the Wage Board, not the courts.
Sa ngayon po ay meron na pong ginagawa po na dokumento at pagtutol. Although of course, ginagalang natin ang lahat ng korte, pero ang pamahalaan, ang administrasyon ay meron naman din pong karapatan na ihayag kung ano ang nararapat para sa ating mga kababayan at sa ating mga manggagawa. Lumalabas po kasi na ang dapat na naging remedyo ng sino man na sanang may concern dito ay nagsampa ng apila sa sa Regional Tripartite Wages and Productivity Board, no, ipa-file ito ng apila at hindi sana sa korte. So anyway, ang Office of the Solicitor General ay ready naman po na ipaglaban po ang wage order na naipasa po para sa ating mga manggagawa.
The palace declined to speculate on whether the increase will take effect once the 20-day TRO lapses on August 13th, noting the matter remains under judicial review. Castro emphasized that President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. continues to support higher wages through the existing wage-setting mechanism, while Congress has yet to pass a legislated wage hike. The wage order grants a total 85 peso increase, with the first 60 peso tranche already implemented on July 25th and the remaining 25 pesos scheduled for January 20th, 2027. Petitioners argued the adjustment would burden businesses, but the government maintains it is necessary to help workers cope with rising living costs.
Dateline Malacañang.
Malacañang has assured the public that security forces are ready to ensure peaceful, orderly, and credible parliamentary elections in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, or BARM, this September. Officials said additional personnel may be deployed if threat assessments will require. The statement followed a report claiming 235 deaths from January to July, including 28 allegedly linked to the upcoming polls. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said the Philippine National Police, or PNP, is still validating the figures, but emphasized that President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s directive is clear: guarantee safe and free elections in BARM. The President earlier approved the Commission on Elections request to deputize the PNP, Armed Forces of the Philippines or AFP, and other law enforcement agencies for the September 14 polls. Castro noted that operations remain focused on dismantling private armed groups and neutralizing security threats. As of now, 8,299 PNP personnel have been deployed, with numbers expected to rise as Election Day approaches. The AFP and Philippine Coast Guard are also supporting efforts, particularly in areas of concern identified by the COMELEC. Castro stressed that most reported incidents of violence were personal disputes, not election-related, and reiterated that security forces are fully prepared to safeguard the polls.
Ang unang-una po ang nais ng Pangulo, ang order ng Pangulo ay maging mapayapa, ligtas at magkaroon ng malayang halalan sa BARM. Sa ngayon po, ayon po sa PNP, maganda naman din po na sila ay nabibigyan ng ganitong klase mga impormasyon, pero ito po ay kanilang ibeberipika. At ito po ang gagawin ayon sa PNP. Patuloy ang focus law enforcement operations ng PNP laban sa mga private armed groups at iba pang banta sa seguridad, kasabay ng mahigpit na koordinasyon ng PNP, AFP at COMELEC sa pamamagitan ng Joint Security Control Centers. Pinalalakas din ang intelligence gathering, community engagement at mahigpit na pagpapatupad ng political neutrality ng lahat ng security personnel. Sa ngayon, mayroong 8,299 PNP personnel ang nakadeploy para sa election security sa BARM. Habang papalapit ang halalan, maaari pang madagdagan ang deployment batay sa threat assessment at sa magiging pangangailangan ng COMELEC. Katuwang ng PNP ang AFP at Philippine Coast Guard sa pagpapatibay ng seguridad, lalo sa mga election areas of concern na tinukoy ng COMELEC upang matiyak ang ligtas, mapayapa at maayos na pagsasagawa ng halalan. Yan po ang ayon sa PNP. At ayon din naman po sa COMELEC, yung nasasabing mga issue ng violence ay hindi po election related. Personal conflicts ito ayon sa COMELEC. But anumang mangyayari, ang PNP po, ang FP, Philippine Coast Guard ay handa po para matiyak ang kapayapaan sa halalang darating.
Palace Press Officer Claire Castro.
Dateline Malacañang.
Still on Monday, Malacañang has assured the public that President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. will base any action on evidence as authorities investigate allegations of gambling activities against Health Secretary Jose Brix Pujalte Jr. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said the president believes complaints against government officials must be thoroughly examined before decisions are made. She emphasized that no directive has been issued for Pujalte's preventive suspension, adding that updates will be provided as the investigation progresses. Castro noted that President Marcos continues to repose confidence in the health chief in the absence of substantiated claims, stressing that the president will act only if allegations are proven true. The complaint, filed by a group of concerned citizens, accuses Pujalte of violating laws prohibiting government officials from gambling in casinos. The Department of Health has strongly denied the charges, saying Pujalte was attending an official meeting with local officials from Masbate and Sorsogon at the hotel in question. Pujalte, appointed on July 13th following the resignation of Dr. Chodoro Herbosa, remains focused on delivering healthcare services while the investigation proceeds. Malacañang reiterated that due process will guide the administration's response.
Kung may ganito po mga issue ay dapat lang po talagang lumabas. Kailangan po maimbestigahan at kung ano man po ang kalalabasan nito ay hahayaan po natin ang Pangulo na mag-desisyon patungkol dyan. Sa ngayon po na wala pa naman pong nailalabas na anumang concrete evidence, maliban lamang po talaga kung ito talaga ay mapapatotohanan na, dun lamang po kikilos ang ating Pangulo.
Press Officer Claire Castro.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has declared Saturday, August 29th, 2026, a special non-working day in the 4th Legislative District of Cavite to allow voters to participate in a special election for the House of Representatives. Proclamation number 1369, signed on July 29th by Acting Executive Secretary Ralph Recto, covers the city of Dasmariñas, the lone city in this district where the election will be held following the expulsion of its incumbent representative. The proclamation cites Republic Act or RA number 6645 as amended by Republic Act number 7166, which mandates the Commission on Elections or COMELEC to call and conduct a special election when a permanent vacancy occurs in the House, at least 1 year before the end of the term. By law, the election must be held within 60 to 90 days from the occurrence of the vacancy. The August 29 polls will determine the new representative of Cavite's 4th District, ensuring that constituents regain full representation in Congress. Declaring the date a special non-working day is intended to give voters the opportunity to exercise their right to suffrage without workday constraints.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has issued proclamations declaring special non-working days in 3 localities to allow residents to fully join their respective celebrations. Proclamation number 1368 designates Monday, August 17th, as a special non-working day in Tuguegarao City, Cagayan. The declaration was made to give residents time to participate in the Pavorulon Afi Festival, which falls on August 16th, a Sunday. In Davao de Oro, Proclamation number 1370 declared Saturday, August 1st, a special non-working day in the municipality of Compostela in observance of its 78th founding anniversary. Meanwhile, Proclamation number 1371 sets Friday, August 7th, as a special non-working day in Bayombong, Nueva Vizcaya to mark the town's fiesta. The proclamations emphasize that it is fitting to give residents full opportunity to take part in the festivities and enjoy the celebrations. By authority of the President, Acting Executive Secretary Ralph Recto signed the proclamations on July 29th.
Dateline Malacañang.
Meanwhile, Malacañang has announced that President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has declared special non-working days in 7 local government units or LGUs this August to allow residents to fully participate in founding anniversaries, town fiestas, and cultural festivals. By authority of the President, Acting Executive Secretary Ralph Recto signed the proclamations on July 29th, emphasizing that residents should be given full opportunity to join the celebrations. Under Proclamation number 1372, August 14th is a special non-working day in Davao City for the annual Kadayawan Festival and Indigenous Peoples Day. Proclamation number 1373 designates August 12th in Candoni, Negros Occidental for its 65th founding anniversary. Proclamation number 1374 declares August 13th in Magpet, Cotabato for its 63rd founding anniversary, while Proclamation number 1375 sets August 14th in Mawab, Davao de Oro for its founding anniversary. Meanwhile, Proclamation number 1376 declares August 15th a special non-working day across Bulacan Province for its founding anniversary. On the same date, Proclamation number 1377 covers Viga, Catanduanes for the celebration of Araw ng Viga. The palace said the declarations ensure residents can fully participate in their local festivities and enjoy the celebrations.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has declared special non-working days in 4 municipalities and 1 city this August to allow residents to fully take part in founding anniversaries, local festivals, and historic commemorations. Under Proclamation Number 1382, August 29th has been declared a special non-working day in Dangkagan, Bukidnon in celebration of its founding anniversary. Proclamation Number 1381 designates August 20th in Gasan, Marinduque for its 417th founding anniversary. Meanwhile, Proclamation Number 1380 declares August 19th in Angono, Rizal to commemorate its independence as a municipality from Binangonan. On the same day, Proclamation Number 1379 sets a special non-working day in Casibo, Nueva Vizcaya for the annual Casibo Festival. Proclamation Number 1378 also declares August 18th in Kidapawan City, Cotabato as a special non-working day to mark its 79th founding anniversary. The proclamations emphasize that it is fitting and proper to give residents full opportunity to participate in the occasions and enjoy the festivities. By authority of the President, Executive Secretary Ralph Recto signed the proclamations.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other developments, the Philippine National Police or PNP said the fatal shooting of vlogger Alicia Lipata, known online as Mima Alicia, is now solved with murder charges filed against 6 suspects. PNP Chief General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr. announced that investigators have identified all individuals involved in the July 17 killing in Caloocan City, from the masterminds down to the gunman. 3 suspects are already in custody, while 3 others remain at large. Police say the motive has been established and the case filed before the Caloocan Prosecutor's Office. Authorities also recovered the firearm used in the attack, linking it to at least 10 other robbery and shooting incidents in Bulacan, Nueva Ecija, Quezon City, and Malabon since 2016. Investigators revealed the suspects were initially paid 250,000 pesos, with the gunman reportedly a former security aide of a slain drug personality in Iloilo. Meanwhile, Nartates suggested banning violent movies and TV shows to help curb youth crime, citing recent incidents including the stabbing death of a student in Las Piñas and the school shooting in Tacloban City. He stressed that children are influenced by their environment, family, and social media. Police vow continued operations to track down the remaining suspects and dismantle criminal networks linked to the case.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, has asserted that no amount of Chinese military exercise can change the country's legal claim to Bajo de Masinloc, also known as Scarborough Shoal, in the West Philippine Sea. AFP spokesperson Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad said the reported naval and air combat drills conducted by China's People's Liberation Army on August 1st were closely monitored and tracked. He stressed that military demonstrations do not alter the legal status of maritime features or the Philippines' maritime entitlements under international law. The AFP reaffirmed its commitment to protect Philippine territory and safeguard maritime rights, consistent with the 2016 Arbitral Award, the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea or UNCLOS, and national interest. China's Southern Theater Command earlier announced joint naval and air exercises near Bajo de Masinloc, involving bomber aircraft armed with anti-ship missiles, naval vessels, and Coast Guard ships conducting interception and boarding drills. The AFP emphasized that despite such activities, the Philippines' legal position remains firm and its forces continue to uphold sovereignty in the West Philippine Sea.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, the Philippines has retained its Doing Better status in the 2026 Doing Good Index or DGI, ranking second in Southeast Asia after Singapore in creating an enabling environment for philanthropy. The Association of Foundations said the country is among only 5 Asian economies rated Doing Better, alongside China, Hong Kong, Japan, and South Korea. Singapore was the sole economy classified as Doing Excellent. The findings were reinforced by the World Giving Report 2026, which showed that 78% of Filipinos donated in 2025, well above the global average of 61%, reflecting the nation's strong culture of bayanihan. Corporate support remains a key strength. The DGI found that 79% of local non-governmental organizations or NGOs receive corporate funding, with business contributions accounting for 34% of their budgets, nearly double the Asian average. Faith-based giving also plays a major role, with 45% of Filipinos contributing to religious organizations. However, the reports noted areas for improvement. Only 34% of Filipinos gave directly to NGOs, while 80% of organizations said domestic funding needs to be strengthened. Rising costs and growing demand for social services continue to outpace funding growth. Despite these challenges, the Philippines remains among the world's top countries in community connection, with 90% of respondents reporting a strong sense of belonging.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, Radyo Pilipinas World Service of the Presidential Broadcast Service can be heard over the following shortwave frequencies: 15.640 MHz, 17.750 MHz, and 21.720 MHz. Radyo Pilipinas World Service is also live on audio streaming. Just download Evox Previous Receiver on your Google Play Store or the App Store from your Apple phone. You can also visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Just type in and search for Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our post as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and mabuhay.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.